The Leave Your Legacy podcast is supported by Wise Financial. Wise Financial is a Northwestern Mutual private client group member. For over 20 years, Wise Financial has dedicated its efforts to designing comprehensive wealth management strategies for business owners and many accomplished athletes. Through their efforts, Wise Financial has been recognized as an industry-leading firm. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello and welcome to the Leave Your Legacy podcast. I'm your host, Kenyon Murray, and today we have a definite special podcast with the one and only Murray twins, Kris and Keegan Murray. It's kind of a surreal moment to have them both in studio doing the podcast. Obviously, this is a special edition. It's draft week, and Kris is on the verge of being selected in the NBA. So we wanted to bring him in, have a great show, kick it around a little bit, have some fun, maybe get into a couple arguments, but definitely have a lot of laughs. And so, fellas, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks.
This is going to be fun. All right, so first thing we're going to talk about is this. Obviously, you guys grew up playing, and I know you've been interviewed about it, but, Keegan, being in the NBA, what was it like this year for you not having your brother on the floor with you and practicing in games?
Rehearse these questions. No, at first it was kind of like, I don't know, like you go into it, it's the NBA, you kind of don't really know anyone on your team and things like that. So it was an adjustment at first, but like through training camp, you're with your teammates all the time. So eventually, I talk to Kris every day. So going through it, I really felt like I got used to it pretty quick. And that I feel like that helped me early on in the season to just get established in the NBA and things like that. Because I know he's my brother. He's not always going to be my teammate. So
yeah. And for you, Kris, you had obviously a different role too going into the season with the Iowa Hawkeyes. And so what was it like, the first few practices and then into the season without your brother on the floor with you?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably similar. Like towards the fall, it was kind of weird in the summer.
Yeah.
Lifestyle-wise, it was easy just because we always, every time after practice, we just go into our own rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was pretty easy. But I would say definitely on the court, I think in the fall is kind of where it got a little bit easier, more comfortable playing with different guys, not having him on the court. And I would say too, I didn't have someone who was going to look me off. And I knew that I had a more expanded role this year, kind of what he had, and didn't have to worry about cutting and then Keegan going in and dunking it. But yeah, I think it definitely was an adjustment.
Especially when you shoot 55% from the field.
It was an adjustment, but it was for the best probably.
Yeah. No, I think that was the one thing too. I said, I've said recently, I felt like you guys grew a lot this year without each other. Obviously your skills have always been together and you've always worked, but were there times where you're like, Keegan, I'll go with you first. Were there times you're like, damn, I just wish, Kris was on the floor with me because he knows my game. He knows how to get me the ball. And then, we'll pose a question to you too, Kris. But Keegan?
Yeah, I'd probably say it was the first couple summer league practices. And I kind of didn't know what to do. I was so used to just him throwing me the ball and things like that. And
I set him up.
That kind of wasn't going. And so a couple of practices went by and I started to get more comfortable and things like that. And obviously I had a really good summer league. So I'd probably say that was kind of the first time where guys weren't really used to my game and didn't know how I worked. So.
Yeah.
I think it was easier for me to adjust, probably just because used to Coach McCaffrey's system, similar guys. So it's definitely, I'm used to throwing him the ball a lot and reading him and doing that. So it was a little bit of adjustment, but we had similar system. I was playing with similar guys from last year, so it was pretty easy.
Yeah. So you've said this before. It was probably a good thing that I stepped back when it came to giving you basketball advice. That part was hard for me, but I always said you guys had really, really good coaches and people that poured into you. So did you feel, now that you guys are apart, that you had a really good foundation as far as being able to adjust on the fly, whether it was, because he's not on the floor, or how to adjust during games because of all the different coaches that you've had? Obviously, Coach McCaffrey and Coach West at DME, but I felt like you did a good job this year of really maximizing your time on the floor because you just adjusted in the moment. And I think that was something that kind of elevated your game.
Yeah, I knew like for me it was most just keeping my fouls down.
Yeah.
Because I knew I'd be able to play a lot this year. I went from like averaging a lot of fouls a game to not a lot, and that kind of helps a little bit. But I think I've always been good with just kind of adjusting, especially like just on the court too, in-game adjustments and things like that. But I definitely think I had a good foundation with you, and then Coach West, Coach Rigerson, Coach McCaffrey, that I knew that kind of the similarities in all of them is that you guys trusted me. Yeah. So I think that's kind of just what helped me play through that.
Yeah. So what about you? Like being coached in the NBA, I know you have probably a Hall of Fame coach as your head coach. You had Coach of the Year who's coached LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. So what was the adjustment like just as far as like the coaching style? Because during the summer you had Jordy during Summer League, and obviously Mike was there. But what was that? Was there anything that was hard about it, easy about it? Like what was that coaching change like for you?
It's really just the NBA and overall, just knowing that at any point in the season you can be replaced, and things like that. Because, I mean, you're playing with and going against guys that, I mean, have families and that's like their job and to provide for the family and stuff like that. So everyone's going to keep going at you throughout the entire season. So it was just being able to stand my ground, be able to try and be consistent as possible throughout the season. And things like that. And Coach Brown, he coaches at a championship level. So he expects the highest of you, whether you're a rookie or if you've been in the league for 15 years. So he expects everyone to do their job and things like that. So there's times during the season where I wasn't doing my job and my minutes decreased. But eventually I was able to kind of be consistent with it. I started to see more consistency with my minutes. So.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, so what was the hardest adjustment for you? Because we talked a little bit and I kind of think I know what it is, but, you know, the NBA life is different. We talked like you've played 100 games this year. Like you literally played 3 college seasons in one season. So what was the biggest adjustment for you just in NBA lifestyle?
I think the biggest adjustment was the road trips. I remember our first road trip. We went to Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, Golden State. And I had like 4 straight awful games in a row. Yeah. And it was just kind of my first time getting in late in the morning at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then having to wake up, practice the next day or play the next day and things like that. And I feel like that kind of opened my eyes a little bit on how I need to be consistent every single day. And that was kind of my introduction to the NBA life. And I remember our next road trip, it was like 13 days East Coast, and I feel like the more the road trip got on, the more I was playing better. And I feel like at that point, I feel like I adjusted really well to that kind of part of the NBA life.
Gotcha. And what about you? Like your minutes skyrocketed, right? You like doubled your minutes from last year. So what were some things that you had to adjust to, knowing that you were going to be asked to do a lot more in your role this year as opposed to last year when I think you averaged right around 18, 19 minutes a game. And obviously this year you had a stretch where I don't think you came out of the game. It was like 4 straight games. I don't know if you came out, and you were averaging like 38 and a half or 39 minutes a game. So what was the big adjustment for you with that huge minutes uptick for your season?
Yeah, I think for me it was just being a smart basketball player. Like staying out of foul trouble. Yeah. That was a big thing for me. And just being in good shape. I think this past summer, I learned a lot, especially doing pre-draft and then going to Formula Zero camp. I learned a lot. Just kind of like what it takes to play at the next level. And I knew that I'd be able to show a lot of my skill set with more minutes, but I had to be in shape too. I can't just kind of just dog it and just kind of play sloppy. It had to be, I had to be like on every single night. I felt like, just because like guys were coming for me, especially in the Big Ten. It's a kind of a really scout heavy conference. And so yeah, you're going to get everyone's best every single night. So I knew like I'd get more minutes than I did last year, but I just I had to be ready for it. I feel like I had a good summer just kind of leading up to it.
Yeah, gotcha.
I also didn't have anyone make him run the Carver stairs.
I ran Carver stairs by myself.
So here we go. All right, so that goes into the next one. So I'm going to say this. Okay, so I was going to ask this question. I'm going to ask a different one. So who do you think, going back to his season and your season, who had the tougher road to hoe between last year and this year as far as competition, scouting, that kind? Who do you think had the tougher year?
What do you mean?
Being
like
able
when
to
I was
perform.
a sophomore?
Yeah, when you were a sophomore versus his junior year, who had it tougher?
Me, probably.
Okay, expand on that. Why did you have it different? Why was it tougher for you?
Because he had me.
No, I didn't, bro.
Yeah.
You weren't even our second league scorer.
Well, I'd help.
I'd probably say I did because I'd probably say we were a better team my sophomore year.
Well, we were a new team too, kind of. And we had...
we were a new team and we had to learn on the fly. And then I probably...
our schedule was harder this year. We had
your non-conference was harder. I feel like the Big Ten was harder my sophomore year.
It was more balanced this year. It was tough.
I mean, yeah, if you think about the way the conference ended up,
there was literally like 4 or 5 teams that were 11-9.
Because you guys could have finished as high as what, 4?
No, 2.
2.
If we were being Nebraska, we would have finished 2.
No, but I'd probably say
you had like 5 or something.
Yeah,
I'd probably say I probably made it look easy because
okay.
I feel like I scored in a lot of different ways than Kris. Like I'd score in transition, post ups, off down screens, ISOs, and Kris really didn't get many transition points. I feel like that's where I killed teams.
Yeah,
like bringing the ball down the court like as fast as I could, trying to beat them down the court, sprinting down the court.
Yeah.
So I got more easy buckets, which therefore had me score more points per game than he did.
And I thought, this year I think you shot more threes than he did the year prior. Yeah, right.
Well, I made more. For sure made more.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're coming down talking about this. So let's just put this out there. You both had unbelievable all-time seasons, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You both broke a lot of records. You were the only player this year.
I don't know if I broke any records.
You did. Well, here's the thing. You were so you had only the second 30-20 game in Iowa history.
Yeah, or get specific.
Oh, well, because I'm a stat. I'm a stat guy. So, and then 2, you were the only player in the country that averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, and made 65 or more threes this year. So very specific. Granted,
the 30-20, I'll give him that. But
you're giving but you won't give him that?
The other one was extremely specific.
Okay, all right.
I had like 14 rebounds in the first half, and then I got the very last one just fell into my lap.
Yeah. Okay, and then but you mentioned it too. You had the greatest scoring season in Iowa basketball history.
Yeah.
Right. So it says a lot about both you guys, but it also says like you both were ready for the moment, right? So I think that the fans are like, what are the things that you've done what are the things that have gotten you to this point, right? Obviously, you've grown. You sprouted up. You guys were 5'11", 6 foot as freshmen, weighed $115 or whatever it was. But what are the things that you guys do behind the scenes in order to be able to perform when you're on the court? I think that's what people need to understand, because people can look at like your stature, right? They can look at your physical stature and say, well, it's because they're this tall or whatever, they got athleticism, their dad played or whatever. But what do you guys do that most people don't know that prepares you for when you go out on the floor and play?
Yeah, I think especially going into both of our sophomore years, going back to just like getting in the best shape possible. Like I would go run the car reception, I'd make him come with me and things like that.
Okay, you phrase it like that. What?
All right. Sometimes I'd make him do it. Sometimes he'd want to do it, but no, we pretty much did that. I feel like almost every weekend during the summer.
It was like on Saturdays or Sundays.
Yeah, during the weekends during the summer.
Yeah.
Whenever we had like an off day or if we had like a weekend off.
Now, did you do the whole circle?
Yeah, we did the whole circle.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd take like 30, 40 minutes. But what's it called? But I'd probably say just being in the best shape possible, because if you're out of shape and stuff like that, like you can't be playing like 35 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game. But also I feel like it comes down to the stuff like scouting wise, like when I was there, like we'd have to take quizzes before games, and me and Kris never missed a question. I don't think Kris missed a question, but I didn't miss a question when I was there. About any of the scouts and stuff like that. So just being mentally prepared for each game, no matter who you're playing. If you're playing a low major, if you're playing the best team in the country, no matter who it is, always being ready and prepared for that. And I feel like that's something that you don't see on the court. It's kind of like the little things, the little tendencies guys have or their team has as a whole.
Yeah. What would you add to that? other things you've done?
like we worked out together a lot. It's pretty unique to have someone who has a similar skill set, and a twin to kind of have that person to work out with anytime you want to.
Yeah.
So that's definitely unique. But I also think like too, like we always had hobbies that we did like outside of basketball, that just kind of took us away from basketball and just kind of didn't make us like insanely focused back. Because I feel like it could be a lot, especially when you might have a lot of pressure on you going into the season or something like that. So I think just having hobbies and different things to do every single day, I think that can definitely help. And I think that's something that we do a lot.
Well, it gives you a reprieve. And I talk about having balance, right? I mean, if you think about it, you guys played all the different sports growing up. You golfed in high school, and I know that's one of your biggest passions now, but that's what I was talking to some parents about, was just allowing your kids to kind of grow into their passion and their love, as opposed to, forcing it on them. Everybody thinks, I think most people that don't know me and know us think that it was all like 100% basketball, like all the time.
We played football, baseball. We played football until tackle.
Yeah. Your mom wouldn't let you play after that?
No. Football, baseball, golf, soccer, I guess, elementary school.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it was balanced. And then you love getting out and golfing. I think that's the biggest thing, is like you have a break from what you do. And now this next level is your job. So anybody that has a job knows that they have hobbies outside of their job. Yours just happens to be basketball, but still there has to be that balance in who you are as a person. So, all right. So taking that one, so what are some of the things that you do outside of golf that relaxes you? Because, as a family, we love spending time with each other, but now you're out in California. Like, what are some of the things that you do to just kind of take your mind away from basketball that allow you to relax and just be you?
Yeah, I'd probably say, first of all, getting a dog was probably the best thing that could have happened to me, especially during the NBA season.
I got a dog first.
Mine's better, but no, like getting a dog, we got him in November.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like I hit like a slump or whatever, and then I wouldn't call it a slump. I just wasn't playing up to the best of my abilities, but we ended up getting a dog that I wanted for a while and got him. And I feel like you have a bad game, you go home, the dog's always going to be happy. The dog doesn't know that you just played a bad game.
I did all that too.
Helps
after road trips.
Yeah. Helps after road trips. Like you get in at 3 a.m. and the dog's just in his kennel, like just wagging his tail, super excited, even though you might have just lost by 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But just having him around has been really cool. And like I'd always play like also like these crime games. Like we all have them, our whole family has them, but I'd play those crime games like if I had like a night off or something like that, just to kind of get my mind away from actually like basketball or something like that, because 82 games is super draining.
Yeah.
And you're practicing every single day, going through scout every single day, and stuff like that. So just trying to get my mind away from that and just kind of take a deep breath and relax and focus on something different.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. I did a lot of those crime games.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad gave us a lot of them. But
I haven't solved any of them. Like I always there's like 3 steps. I always get like 2.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I get them easy. I got the fastest I've gotten is like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I haven't completed one.
Yeah.
Like where I've got every single step right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just have.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Cool. I watched like Criminal Minds stuff growing up, so like I know.
You wanted like going to
You
forensics
gotta-
or something like that when you were younger.
I'm good though. You can ask Sophie. Sophie hates when I do them.
Yeah, 'cause
Then-
it's so fast.
Oh yeah, I like to lock in real quick. But yeah, I'd say like I think Indy helped a lot.
Yeah.
Like every off day, I would take her on a run. She helped me in the off season too. Like I'd take her on runs and stuff.
Yeah.
Outside, and she's a good running dog, so it helps. And then like after games, she's just wagging her tail and stuff. Like she wouldn't know we just lost on the road by 30. But so she's always happy to see me. But yeah, puzzles too.
Yeah.
I think I got into that in COVID.
Yeah.
Then movies like
I've been going to a lot of movies.
Yeah, I go to a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like I went to Guardians of the Galaxy, new Spider-Man, new Transformers.
Yeah.
All good movies.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, like going to movie theater.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of Marvel movies too during the season. Like I watched them all like in order how you're supposed to watch them.
Yeah.
Watched them all in order
Yeah.
like 2 times during the season so far.
So that's you. What do you watch?
Man, don't worry about it. I haven't been to a movie theater since I don't even know.
Yeah.
High school, maybe.
Yeah.
I would go to movies. But
Love is Blind. Or no, Love Island.
yeah, Love Island.
Is that what you're watching now?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Big Love Island guy.
Gosh. Yeah, that's so wild because every time I come out, you'd be watching either that or golf on YouTube.
Yeah, it's usually YouTube golf.
Yeah, YouTube golf.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, Kris, the draft is tomorrow as we're taping this on Wednesday, the 21st. The draft is tomorrow. So, one of the things I want to know is how Keegan's experience has helped you through this. I know you guys talk all the time and that kind of thing. And your journey was a little bit different to one, get here and then the process of going through it. So how has he helped you, prepare for all the workouts you had? And now as we're the night before the draft, how has he prepared you mentally, physically to go through the process?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty unique just because like I kind of was like in the shadows last year, just kind of watching him go through it.
Yeah.
It was a little bit different than mine where he was higher pick. So he got to go to like, it was more individualized or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to go to a lot more cities and less days, kind of all crunched together. So been on the road a lot, but it's definitely helped just because I kind of got to see him go through it and made it a lot easier too, just like the interview process and the combine and all that. But I mean, yeah, for me, I had to go to a lot of different cities the last couple of weeks and work out for teams, visit with teams, and it can be a lot. Like I did less than 10, but other guys have done, I've heard guys do 18, 22 workouts.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, for me, it was just, I mean, just kind of take it one day at a time. Like you kind of have to, especially when you're in an airport, like for a whole week or you're sitting in hotel beds, hotel rooms, it can get lonely. So you kind of got to get out and do stuff. So that's kind of what I've been doing, is kind of going and visiting every single city, see what it is, just walk around or go to a movie. So I'll just kind of see what it's all about. But I mean, yeah, his process was a little bit different than mine, but I think it helped prepare me. I think mostly just like the interviews and stuff like that.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how important, right? Because you played a whole season, you had all the accolades. People have seen you play, obviously have the workouts, but how important are the interviews, do you think, in this whole process of getting drafted?
Yeah, I mean, most teams know like probably what you do better than you. Yeah. So they've seen you play mostly for the workouts. They want to see like how you move, things like that, how you shoot, just kind of get a feel for you. But the interviews are really important. That's where they kind of get a personality. They kind of get to know you a lot more, know your family, know what you like to do, just kind of like how you think. So I think, those have been pretty important. I've had a lot of them. I couldn't tell you how many, but I think those are probably one of the most important parts of this process, I think. Yeah.
No, I think it's super important. And I think you guys, people think you're the same, right? They watch you play. They think your skill sets which they are similar, but there's big differences, I feel, in your games. How you interact, you both have that stoic look, but I think the interview process is probably where you set yourselves apart too, as far as personality. So I'm going to ask you, who's funnier, you or Kris?
Me. I have better one-liners.
Better one-liners?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
There's no way.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, so you think you're better. You think you're funnier.
I think if you ask our family, I think
no.
Yes. I always have been. You could ask Kenna, mom, dad, Demetrius.
No, he's just like,
I'll get dumber. I'll get 3 out of 5 votes or 4 out of 5.
You just do dumber things. Like, we don't laugh at you because you're funny. Like,
I just think it's so funny. Like, here's the thing. Like, you guys. Okay, so I'm saying you guys you love each other to death. You're twins. It's a different relationship. How many fights have you gotten into in your 22, almost 23 years of life?
Like fist fights?
Yeah, like actual knockdown, drag out.
Some scuffles.
I remember one where I had to separate.
Well, yeah, there's one downstairs.
Max sent me a video yesterday of us fighting.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, I think there's a lot of because that was when we're like this UFC phase where Kris thought he could armbar everyone, and I thought I could.
I'd flip into an armbar.
Yeah, and I thought I could like triangle someone.
Yeah.
And so
were you guys doing that at Max's house?
No, we did it at our living room.
Oh, good Lord. Oh my god!
Because he was in this huge armbar phase. I don't know why.
Because Ronda Rousey, I was used to watch Ronda Rousey. That was like when I started getting into UFC.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey was just armbarring everyone, so I thought I could do it too, which I can. Like I'm pretty good at it.
Blame that on Mitch.
Yeah,
the UFC stuff. So you got into a couple scuffles. I think that was the one thing. Somebody asked me. I was like, I think they've only gotten into like one actual fight where I had to separate you guys, and I think one of you spent a few nights upstairs. We didn't let you guys sleep together at all.
That was probably the one. That was the one where me and Kim were fighting, and then wasn't Kenna was crying?
Kenna ran upstairs crying. I don't even know how old she was. Were you guys like 11?
Yeah,
something like that. So let's talk about that. Like how, as far as family goes, like obviously we're spread this year, right? With you playing here, you're out in California. You got Kenna, you got Demetrius. Like, how do you, how I want to phrase this, because you guys both know like it was tough for Mom and I to kind of balance everything, right, and kind of get a feel for it, because there were things out in Cali that you needed because you moved halfway across the country, and Mom helped out there. There's things that you needed here. I just want to ask, like, how do you think we did, as a family this year? And just to be honest, hey, this is the podcast. We're going to be honest. Like, how do you think we did as a family, being able to stay connected like we normally are, with everybody kind of going in 500 different directions? I'll put that on.
On Kris.
I'll put it on Kris first.
Yeah. Think good. I don't know. The only thing that I don't know, was kind of disconnect was Christmas.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean that's kind of tough because Keegan's in Sacramento, he can't come home, and then I'm in Iowa City. But I mean, it made it work because we didn't really have a break anyways for Christmas. Yeah.
So, that was tough. Was the first time that we haven't been together in some fashion for Christmas. So but yeah, no, it's definitely tough. I think your mom took it a little bit harder than I did.
Yeah, probably.
She usually takes a few things a little bit tougher than me, but we balance each other out and that kind of thing. But I think what?
Nothing.
Keep going.
We'll
podcast host.
But I do. I think it'll get easier. I think as parents, you guys are in different phases, right? Like you're a rookie, you're going through yours. Demetrius is about to be a dad.
McKenna's a dad.
He is a dad.
Well, but at the time, I'm talking before they had break. Oh my gosh,
break.
Yeah,
Christmas break.
Yeah, before we got there, it was like before they had the baby, it was like we were trying to like balance everything out, and be where we need to be. And you still got Kenna at home, who's she has needs. And
she also just goes down in her room the entire night. So
she's a teenage girl. We'll take that. But I think that's the one thing. Like I tell a lot of people, is like trying to balance that, right? Because we're still your parents, and we still have to parent you and be there for you. But you guys you're all doing different things, and so there's times where we have to devote more time to you, or to Demetrius, or to Keegan, or to McKenna, right? And so for us, that's like the tough part. About all of this. And it's great because you guys are doing well, but it's not all glamorous, right? There's still everyday real life things that go on that we have to get through and stuff. So I wouldn't change it because you guys are living your dream right now. And so I know that's one thing I wanted to tell. Like, it's just everybody thinks it's glamorous, but it's not, because you still have the daily family stuff. But going away from that, I wanted to ask too, when did you guys start talking about playing at the next level, right? Like, people ask me, when did you think Kris and Keegan were going to be NBA level talent? And I'm like, well, let's see. I was hoping and praying that you played Division I basketball, right? Like, that was, think about it, 4 years ago. 4 years ago from now, we're buying stuff, getting ready to get packed up to move you to Florida for prep school. And now we're 4 years later, and you've completed your rookie year, and you're getting ready to get drafted. Like, was there any talk between the two of you growing up that like this was where you wanted to be? Because I don't think the three of us ever had that conversation at all.
No, we never talked about it.
No.
We were so worried about freaking getting a scholarship offer.
Going to college.
Yeah.
And stuff
baby
like that.
steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah, trying to get to college for free, and then
having a growth spurt helps.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably like maybe after our freshman year of college, maybe. Probably your freshman year, and then like halfway through the year, my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So
is when you're thinking like, we might, we got a chance to.
Yeah, because prep school, going to college, it's like you trying to play in college first of all.
Yeah.
And then, we kind of took like one step at a time, I think.
Yeah.
So I didn't think too far in the future, but it was definitely like a goal of ours, I would say.
Yeah. So what were I know I was frustrated because like as your coach, dad, whatever, getting those offers was something that we obviously I wanted you guys to play at this level, and we're doing everything we could, with film and reaching out to coaches and stuff like that. Like, what were your feelings, obviously, after you both had a great high school career? Your senior years were unbelievable. You were first, second team All-State, and still we just had that one offer. Like, what was going through your mind at that time when you're sitting there in Western Illinois is the only offer you had? Like, what were some of the things that you were working through when that was the only offer on the table?
Yeah, well, I mean, our senior year of high school, I felt like both of us were one of the best players in our conference. And that year, like our senior year, we had like, I don't know, like 10 guys in our conference play at Division I schools. And so, like, I mean, towards the, like at the end of that year, we both really wanted to go to Kirkwood and go to and play it as like a small junior college, like 10 minutes away from us or whatever. We really just wanted to go there and then see what happens, like maybe find a school in the Midwest somewhere. We both really did not want to go to Florida, if we're being honest.
No, not really.
But that's kind of where our head was at. And at the end of the day, it worked out for the best. But at that point, after our senior year of high school, we just wanted to kind of stay in the Midwest and just find a school out here where we could maybe get a scholarship and figure it out from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think DMU was probably the best case scenario for us. I mean, just because they gave us we were there for like a month and a half before we committed to Iowa. I mean, they gave us a really good platform, just kind of show colleges like how we can play. And I think, it just kind of worked out that we went back to Iowa. It was a perfect fit. Like basketball wise and lifestyle wise, I felt like. But they just kind of gave us a platform where we didn't lose any eligibility. But I'd definitely say we wanted to stay home, but a little bit outside of our comfort box. So I think that helped us too, like for now. And like when Keegan was with the Kings, I was at Iowa. Yeah. Like it helped us out, I think.
Yeah. And the biggest thing was like, when we were getting recruited in high school, teams they just want a player that could come in as a freshman and instantly score like 10, 15 points a game.
Yeah. Which is a transfer portal now.
Right.
But there was no transfer portal back then. And that's kind of like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just kind of like unrealistic in a way, because you're only going to have a handful of guys in college that are going to be able to do that. And so that was kind of like defeating, because we knew that we were good players and maybe it'd take a year or two. And it obviously did take a year or two for us to end up being good college players.
Yeah.
So, that at that point, that was kind of frustrating. But, those coaches know who they are. So
yeah, there's a lot of coaches that have been like, we should have listened to you a little bit,
they know who they are.
And
obviously they made a mistake. So
played against them, beat them.
Yeah, played against them.
What it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
beat one of those teams this year. So
I like that. So staying with that, the Iowa thing happened so fast.
Yeah,
like. Literally, people don't realize, like, it was a week where everything kind of happened. You have this showcase where you come off this showcase on the weekend, and Coach West is getting, he's on the phone for 3-4 hours talking to coaches. That same week, you get flown up here to Iowa for a visit. You get offered on Friday.
Committed Sunday,
and then headed back to Florida to finish out the prep school year.
And it was October.
Yeah, like literally. Like, did it ever enter your mind to take another visit, or were you like, if Iowa brings us in and offers us, like, that's where we're going?
I don't think so. But like, it was definitely a cool opportunity to like be able to visit there like right away.
Yeah.
But like Coach just McCaffrey saw Keegan and I like as individuals, and like was going to develop us as individuals, talk to us as individuals. Like most coaches that recruit us were just thought we were like pairs together or whatever, and that we were going to commit together. We were going to like basically do everything together. And like that wasn't the case really at all. I felt like, So yeah, we didn't really go into there thinking we were going to commit, but I think it just kind of ended up working that way. I mean, it was honestly just a perfect fit. Like, I mean, we grew up 20 minutes from there, but and you went there, but I mean, we like basketball wise, it was perfect fit. Like I said, school, education, lifestyle, it was just all perfect.
Yeah. You guys had to go to Florida to come back to Iowa. So.
I know, it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it was, and I think the experience was great too. Like your mom went with you for the 6.5, 7 months. And I think you guys obviously, because growing up, whenever we did basketball, it was the three of us, right? And then your mom was with McKenna. And so we're always kind of going in different directions. But then that 6.5 months, she's with you, obviously helping make sure you guys are taken care of, have what you need. And I'm here. I felt like, for us as a family, like that was a growing part too. Like just your mom being able to have that experience with you, and McKenna and I and Demetrius being here. I think when we came back together, like we were just stronger as a family. Once again, it's family. You have your ups and downs, but I just felt like those 6.5 months did a great job of really kind of solidifying us and having us be closer than ever, for sure. So a couple of things I'm going to ask, we'll wrap this thing up with you two. So
he's reading off a script, guys.
No, I'm not reading off a script, but I am going to give you some rapid fire questions. All right. So we've already talked about a little bit like who's the funniest. And so Kris thinks he is, Keegan thinks he is.
So far, these aren't rapid fire questions.
You could ask any of our Iowa teammates who was the funniest.
Okay. Rapid fire
questions. I kept climbing up the leaderboards.
All right.
Okay. Rapid fire questions.
You got a trophy or something?
All right. If you had 18 holes to play today, who's winning?
Me. I literally won yesterday.
You won yesterday.
I won convincingly.
I won in Sacramento off of a 6-hour flight with his clubs. I beat him. So then he beat me yesterday.
Yeah.
So then we're playing tomorrow.
Picked you up and drove you. I was in the car
too.
Like 6 hours, 5 hours.
Okay, so that's a wash.
That's a wash.
No, it's not a wash. No, because I won.
Okay, whatever. That was luck. I beat him by 7 strokes yesterday, and I played bad on the back 9.
You've also golfed every weekend since the season's ended.
That's just not true.
That was my 3rd time out.
Congrats.
Okay, all right. So
in 3 months.
We didn't get anywhere with that question.
All right. Well, it depends on tomorrow. Tomorrow's like
that'll be the deciding one.
Okay. Decider.
All right.
Sunday at Augusta.
Big stakes.
Okay. Best shooter.
Me. We literally just shot the other day, and I beat you 4 out of 5 spots, like easily.
No, not easily.
It was 5 spots.
Two.
It was the first person to make 10 in a row from that spot.
Yeah.
I beat him 4-1.
No, the first 2 it was terrible. No. Yeah, the first took forever.
It was really the first one.
No, because we got the wing spot was bad, remember?
Oh.
And then we went to the top, and I made 10 in a row. I think
the wing spot, I kept getting 9, and I missed my 10th.
And then
I went to the left corner.
Well, left corner is where you always
which is where I shoot from.
Which I got to like 7, and then Keegan was up.
Well, he started. He started. And then I just routed off 10 in a row. I routed off 30.
It's like a shot bet. I'd make like 5 in a row.
Yeah. I get it. Best passer.
Me. That's easy. That's so easy. I would pass to you. I would get you open.
I had a couple dimes this year.
A couple?
Maybe like 2.
Okay, there you go.
I also had one game where I had 6 assists.
Congrats.
It's the most I've had ever.
Right. Because we joke about it. I was like, you were a facilitator.
In prep school, I was on triple-double watch a couple times.
Yeah,
that is true. Score.
So it's funny because I always say, like, if we needed a backup point guard, it was always going to be him and not you.
Yeah.
Big guard.
Put the ball in the basket.
All right, best defender. Me.
Yeah. Go for it. Sure.
Scripted.
Yeah, scripted.
Yes.
Best cook.
Me.
No. All you do is I make 2 vegetables.
I've grilled.
I know how to grill.
I've grilled burgers.
Okay.
I make good seasoned vegetables.
Do you not make anything else other than burgers?
No, I made some other stuff.
So
what have I made?
You know how to make burgers?
I make good
potatoes.
Smoothies.
It's not cooking. You can throw anything in a blender and call it a smoothie. I
scramble eggs and put little bacon bits in it.
That's not cooking.
You can't do that.
It's like I know how to make eggs.
I can't do that.
I can put bacon in a microwave and just put it
It's
on
not
eggs.
a microwave. You put them in the air fryer. They have to be perfect.
Air fryer cooks it for you.
Right. Okay.
I can make pastas.
No, you can't.
Chicken. Yes, I can.
You have not made a pasta.
It's like
When have you
spaghetti with
made a
marinara.
pasta?
I know how to make chicken and rice.
You boil noodles. You boil noodles and then you make a ragu sauce.
That's
Congrats.
cooking.
No, it's not.
It's not just throwing something in an air fryer.
Okay, so okay, baker. Who can bake?
Me. No. I literally make us homemade cookies.
Bro, you
during
remember
COVID.
he made us a cake for our 21st birthday when we were in the apartment and the side.
I made a cake for myself this year too.
The sides were all crispy. You go in the middle and it's literally gooey.
That was on your 21st.
Oh yeah, God. I forgot about that. That was the worst.
I'm pretty sure I ate the whole cake.
You gotta eat your
that
work,
was
right?
terrible. Oh my gosh.
Gotta eat your work. Oh my gosh.
Well, every time I make brownies, there's
Yeah.
always something I'm missing. Like I'm missing, what was it? It was vinegar oil or was it olive oil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have to put in there?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's usually like a teaspoon or
Yeah, and I had to
like
use
that.
something else. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
It comes out, differently.
Forgot about that. That might have been the dumbest thing he's ever done.
But he doesn't bake though, and I bake. So I think
Yeah, you win that by
so it's 2-1-1.
by default. All right. Okay.
I mean, I have two: best shooter, best golfer.
Best shooter, best golfer.
2-2-1.
2-2-1. I mean, I'm out anyway. I mean, I think if we go by cooking, I'm the best cooker.
Yeah.
I mean,
More
obviously
experience.
I grill. Yeah, I do. But you guys living by yourself, I mean, that's how I learned how to cook when I was living by myself at your age.
Yeah.
Before I met your mom. So, Anyways, all right. Best dancer.
I'd probably say me.
No,
It's
probably
tough.
him.
Who, me? No, I'm old
We have
school.
no
No
I'd
rhythm.
probably say me. I can try, but it's not good.
I don't dance.
I'm willing to try.
I really don't dance.
All right.
I'm not gonna.
Okay. Best was it one? I had one more I wanted to ask you guys.
Oh, no,
3,
the
2,
script's
1.
gone.
The script, there's never a script on this one. All right. Last one. I would say who is the most thoughtful between the two of you?
Thoughtful.
Yeah, like do things from the heart.
That's a lame question.
Yeah, that's
I know it is.
That's a terrible question.
Because it's a question for Dad. Because I feel like
You're mean.
no. I'm saying I think you both are. Because what I was going to say is
I don't know what I've done.
the things you do for Sophie, the things you do for Indy. I mean, honestly, too, the things you do for Demetrius and
I give
McKenna.
Ollie a bunch of toys.
Like you guys are really thoughtful to everybody around you. And I talk about it all the time. Like we're so lucky as parents because you guys are that way. Because when you go outside of the house and you interact with anybody, I got 3 text messages last night for something that you guys did. But when you guys leave our environment of home, you are 2 of the nicest people that I know because of how you treat other people. And I say that, not just as your dad, but just seeing all this stuff happen. The same thing with you and Carly and Ollie. Like you guys are so thoughtful of the people around you, right? And so I say all the time that if all you are ever known for, and this goes for Demetrius and McKenna as well, if all you 4 are ever known for is just being good people, like that's enough for us. But you guys have just been able to kind of wrap in being pretty good basketball players with it too. So that wasn't a rapid fire question. That was scripted by me because I wanted to say that because that is the way I feel. I love you guys. And the biggest thing your mom and I talk about all the time is how it's so much fun for us to see not only you 2, but your brother and your sister like thriving, doing the things that you love.
Could have
things
just
you're
wrapped
passionate
up with the title of the show. Leave your legacy. How are you guys gonna leave your legacy?
Oh my gosh.
Off the court.
I try to be nice and do something, and this is what I get. So, all right, I want to thank Kris and Keegan for coming on the show today. Remember, you can always go to our YouTube channel, the Talk About Network. Remember, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know when a new episode drop. You can also go to the iHeartRadio Network Spreaker, download us there. You can go to Spotify or Apple iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Kenyon Murray. Until next time.
Welcome back to the 2023 NBA Draft. The Portland Trail Blazers, they are on the clock.
With the 23rd pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Kris Murray from the University of Iowa.
Well, thank you all for coming out. Hopefully, go and visit Portland soon. We got Portland fans, Sacramento fans. There you go. Thank you all for coming out, though. Appreciate it. It's a lot.
Well, there you have it. Kris Murray selected 23rd to the Portland Trail Blazers. As a family, we're so excited for him and his journey. And now we're a West Coast family, so it's just the beginning for him. We're so excited. Thanks for everybody that's helped him to get to this point. This podcast is sponsored by Storyline Multimedia. Storyline is an Iowa City-based media company that specializes in creating high-quality video, photo, and audio productions for local businesses. Not only that, but they also produce a number of podcasts, including this one. So if you're interested in sharing the story of your business with the world, contact them today by visiting StorylineMultimedia.com. And remember, your story matters.